Alright, ladies and gentlemen, get comfy. We gotta sort out some stuff here. I don't know what these people mean when they say induction, so we're gonna have to ignore that because I don't think they know what they mean. But they're about to talk about some stuff, and we're gonna help them sort it out because they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they have no adult in the room. So I'm here.
Well, we don't actually really believe in free will like anybody does, is what I think, right? But, yeah. Fascinating. Look at the induction problem. If we can measure everything perfectly, it wouldn't apply naturally. I don't know what the induction problem is, or if that's a philosophical question. I'm pretty sure, based on my very limited physics knowledge, I don't think it would be impossible to measure everything perfectly, because a system that's contained within itself could not measure itself perfectly, because it would be like an inescapable recursive thing, right? If that makes sense. I think. I think that's true physics, right?
So they mentioned the induction problem. There's some sort of problem they have with induction, and I can't even imagine how they think of induction. Just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, the objectivists look at induction in the following way. Benjamin Franklin did a test, and he put the lightning, the kite, and the Leyden jars, and it charged the Leyden jars with the silk string, and he learned something about every single lightning bolt. All the ones before in history that he never tested, all the ones all around the world, and all the ones in the future that he'll never see. He learned something about them all, and he invented the lightning rod. Now, induction is to make a leap from the instances before you to every instance in the universe. It's a very powerful tool. Deduction is to look at the instances before you and figure out something that's true in those instances. Like his shoes are muddy and she was late getting to the party, and I deduced that they were doing a little whoop, and so then you deduce something that's true about the universe. Induction is to induce something that is true about some particular class or thing across all space and time. Not about a particular instantiation at a dinner party, but across all space and time. That is induction. Now, I don't know what they mean by induction, and if they heard what I just said, it would probably blow their hippie noodle. What they are worried about is the problem of measurement, which is far simpler and far easier. They are worried about perfect measurement. How do we measure things perfectly? Well, off the bat, we know they're Platonists, so let's just throw out whatever they're worried about. Measurement requires a context. What are you measuring? Now, if you tell me that you're measuring the foot race between the turtle and the hare, classic Greek example, I will tell you that we need to measure within the width of like if they get to the rope at the same time and their noses both touch at the same time, then we would need a high-speed camera there, and we would need the width of the rope, maybe, something like that. Clearly, it would not be appropriate to measure in light years. Obviously. Now, if we're going to measure the width of the universe, light years might be appropriate. What are you going to measure and why? Now, let's say you're going to measure them reaching the rope, the turtle and the hare, and you're going to measure them reaching the rope. Why are you doing it, though? You happen to be doing it for a class in quantum mechanics at the Starfleet Academy. That's why you're measuring it. You say, today we're going to take measurements of two animals reaching a rope. And so now today you're going to use an electron scanning hyper-tech microscope that gives you information about how many widths of an atom they are away from the rope. And you need special information and more information because you're teaching a class at Starfleet Academy. What are you measuring and why? So it changes depending on your context. Now that is going to blow their hippie noodles because they want there to be a platonic, perfect thing detached from reality. Now what would it mean for there to be a perfect way to measure? Would we measure the foot race down to the atom, even though it's not relevant? Would we measure the width of the universe down to the atom, even though it's not relevant? Would we use light years to measure everything because that's the perfect unit for the universe? Like, what would it mean to have a perfect measurement? It's just a floating concept. It's just nonsense. It's just pure nonsense. You just take the following fact. When you measure something, you need to ask your question. You need to ask yourself two questions. What is it that I'm measuring? And why am I measuring it? And that will dictate the units you use. Do you use light years or inches or feet or whatever? It's not that complicated, but it blows their hippie noodle, these people. All right, now if this helps you, ladies and gentlemen, please patronize me. Try me on Subscribestar. Patreon works, I know. Subscribestar has not approved me yet. If you think this stuff is convincing, let me know when you run into something you think is convincing, and I will tear their... Okay.